What's up guys, Eric here, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going over my everyday essentials as a sports videographer. Okay, so for the first thing, we're going to go over the main equipment. Currently, for my camera, I use a Sony a7 IV as a hyper camera because all of this video is talking about more of the videography side of things within sports. I also do photography as well. So having that hyper camera is amazing. But to go with the camera, one of the most important things is the Sony 7200. I just recently posted a video talking about why I enjoy this lens and my experience of using it for the past year, and I mainly go over using it for shooting Division I sports and kind of like why I think it's the most essential lens to have within sports. The next essential I have, which is huge for sports videography, which I think is really common now, is the Atomos Ninja monitor. This monitor allows you to record onto an external SSD, and within that, it's huge. Like, having that option is really big. Currently getting an SSD pretty soon because I did get another monitor beforehand, but it actually wasn't supporting the 60 FPS that I need for sports. It was only doing 30, so returned that and got this, and I'm glad I got it because it's definitely a much higher quality and better monitor, and also being able to record onto an SSD, that's always huge, and that's also just a safety thing as well, because you never know what could happen with your SD cards. So having that option is also just more of a safety thing for me. It's kind of my reasoning for getting it. The next few essentials for the sports videography setup are mainly all some small rig things. In this camera right here, it is a a7 IV small rig cage, and within that I have a side handle, a top handle with a mount for the monitor right here. And what's great is that with this top handle, obviously the monitor attaches here, but also when holding it, especially when I'm just walking around, I can just carry the camera like this and it holds all the weight and it's secure. You're not gonna have to worry about dropping the camera. I enjoy holding the camera like this when it's all like rigged out compared to just kind of holding it by the grip. And along with all that, you have your HDMI cable for the monitor. And I didn't know that, but most monitors, or most cables actually aren't supportive of the 60 FPS of the monitor. But this one right here, I can't think of the name, but I'll put it in the description and probably like right here on the screen. This is what is compatible with the a7 IV and a Ninja monitor if you're shooting 60 FPS. The next two things are essential in two different areas. The first one is a K&F Concept 77mm ND filter, variable ND filter. I just picked this up recently. I had another K&F Concept one for about 4 years, and it was giving me some troubles. I can put some footage on the screen, but actually it was more so worse in photo than video. I noticed I had problems with it in photo a while ago, but when I was doing video, I was getting good focus and good quality clips. But recently, as I was filming a track meet, I noticed that it was having issues, so I just recently picked this up, and it's very good quality, much better upgrade. But to pair that, I have the Moment 10% diffusion filter. This is kind of more for like the cinematic look that everyone likes. I don't really use it too much. More so I use it during basketball season because it was indoors and I didn't need an ND filter. It diffused all the lighting, and it was really nice for different like low angle perspectives that I was getting. And I also use it during like more golden hour stuff. But this did also give me a little bit of trouble sometimes with the overall focus for photos. Mainly just within sports, just having to be quick, but portraits and everything else has been much better, this is my experience, but overall, much worth it. I think having some diffusion filter is essential nowadays, and I found that clients really like the look as well, and I overall really enjoy like what I get from it. The next few things, which I feel like are essential for anything that you do as a creative, batteries. I have 4 total batteries for my a7 IV, and I have 3, one of them I don't know, it's somewhere over here charging, but I have 3 monitor batteries. Now 9 times out of 10 I only need 1 monitor battery for a whole day of shooting sports, but I like to have them all charged and prepared because you really just never know with batteries. Sometimes these Sony ones, you'll charge them and they'll die very quickly, usually if they're an off-brand. But before every shoot, especially when it's video, charge all my camera batteries and monitor batteries, and sometimes I'll even bring a charger too if I know there's an area where I can plug in, just to be safe. That's the biggest thing within sports that I always push for myself, is just be prepared for literally anything. SD cards failing, batteries being dead, so have backups. So things like that you always want to be prepared for within shooting on a professional level. Next essential to kind of pair along with those things of being smart and prepared for any circumstance, I have an SD card case by Pelican, and inside it I have 7 different SD cards. I think one of them in there, right here, this is just for my drone. I just keep it in there, but all these are just backups. I used to shoot on these ones, but now I have much faster SD cards, and I found that's just so much better for sports and just overall like saving me time when editing and transferring. Because especially with sports photography, as you're doing continuous shutter autofocus on sports like a dunk or a touchdown celebration, you're constantly just holding down the shutter and just clicking, just trying to get all of those moments, because for those moments they're going on Instagram and Twitter and everything. Your cards need to be fast enough, and I was realizing with these older ones that it wasn't fast enough, and I upgraded, and it's a huge difference. Like, you can literally just keep holding down that shutter and it just doesn't stop for a while, and you get a lot of images. But yeah, that was just something that I feel like was essential, was upgrading the SD cards, but keeping the old ones as backups, because again, you really never know with SD cards, and you really can't afford to mess up in sports, especially on game day. Football's my school's biggest sport, so being prepared for those game days, you have to be ready for anything and everything. But also just practicing that outside of it is what's going to keep you prepared for those big moments, and ensuring that you get the moments and you're not going to have any troubles. This thing I have, which I think is becoming more and more popular amongst just creatives, especially just for kind of posting on your personal work, is to have a phone mount for your camera. So it's this one, and I don't know if it's showing the brand name. Yeah, right there. It's like $12 off Amazon. This is great, it's because what's great about it is you bounce your phone in it, but you can also rotate it. So depending on what you're shooting, photo or video, if you're shooting landscape or horizontal, you can just rotate your phone accordingly to how, the orientation you want to shoot in. Whether that be if you want to shoot a vertical photo and mount your phone vertically to match that for like reels or something, you can do that. If you want to film horizontal and film behind the scenes horizontal, you can do that. I find that it's really cool because you just get a different perspective, and having that option is huge. But for me, in my own personal work, I like just filming behind the scenes on my own client stuff, but also when I was doing football games, especially just taking photo, just capturing those touchdown moments behind the scenes clips on here, while also taking photos with my camera. I found that was like a really great thing. Two things that I think are essential. You have, I feel like everyone usually has these. You have a little air duster and a cleaner for your lenses, because I've learned that it's actually more essential to clean your lenses before and after every single time you use them. Before, I was doing it maybe once every few days. And I remember for a while I wasn't even cleaning them at all, but then you start picking up dust in your photos and videos, and especially the video clips, you can't really remove it. Photos is a little different story. You can use Photoshop or the built-in features in Lightroom, but yeah, when you're shooting on a professional level, you can't be having dirty lenses or your camera sensors. So those things, just those little things, are huge as well. It's essential I have, which if you ever see me out and about, I'm always gonna have this on me, is literally just my water bottle. The reason I carry this coldest one is because I think like in 2021 or 2022, I was doing promotional stuff with them on TikTok, back when I was posting on TikTok more. And it's cool because it has my TikTok, which is just my name for everything, Eric's Photos. I just think it's cool because it's essentially like Hydro Flask or Stanley, whatever. But it's great because you gotta be hydrated, especially around this time of the year when you're out in the sun. Like, I was at a track meet for 5 hours last weekend, came in clutch. That's just my philosophy, always be hydrated, because especially with sports, you're constantly running around. So that's just another essential that I think everyone should have. Now, the last few things you can't really see right now because I'm using them to record this video, but the first thing is my Sigma 35 lens. And I don't really use that lens too much, but it's more so for different sports things if I need to be, really close up to the sport or to the athletes in the sport. But pair that with the Deity microphone that I have up top recording. It's a pretty good microphone. I got it on sale, like, for pretty cheap, so I just went with it because I had broke my current microphone at the time. And overall, pretty good quality. My only complaint is that you do have to charge it. Compared to my old one, I didn't have to charge the microphone, but the battery does last a while, so that's the kind of plus side of that. You don't have to worry about charging it too much. That's pretty much it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to drop a like, subscribe. If you have any other things for videos you want me to talk about within sports or my photography business, let me know in the comments. But with that being said, I will see you guys later.